Everybody, my name is Christian and I'm with Undique and it's Monday again. Monday 7:30 Eastern is the day I try to be online and talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on here on the quail farm. And as you can see, it's getting cold here in New Jersey. That's why I have my jumper on. It's not that cozy warm here in my office. But hey, I'm not complaining. I hope you had a good weekend and a good start into November, which is for me no Movember. So Hazel is here with me as well, and as you know, she's always super excited to show the dog treats. Then I go to the news section, and I'm really super excited because I got a message earlier today and some awesome pictures to show about a German shorthair pointer or German pointer shorthair GPS. No, you'll see. And what else we got? I gonna talk a little bit about what we do here on the quail farm, report on the latest hatches, and we are launching today a new collection. We did a lot of work on our farms here. As you know, Undique is not just a brand or a single company. We are a network of quail farms here across the US. And therefore, we can bring you quite a lot of variation. If you see my eyes wandering off, I keep a little eye down here on the chat and the technical stuff. So we're a small company. I don't have any assistant other than the famous Hazel Dazel, our Labradoodle. So Hazel, can you come and help me to present our first product, which is in the pet category? Hazel, the one with your picture on it. Can you come to show that to the people, please? Yeah. Good girl. Hazel, sit. So, as you can see, Hazel is a Labradoodle. We got her portrait actually on those treats. Hazel, sit, please. Good girl. And what we have here is the Quail Crunch Bites. So, as we are quail farms, we get a lot of quail. And they have a happy life and one bad day. But that bad day turns into a great day for our pets. Are they nice and crunchy? You get a second one. You get different size pieces here with our crunch bites. Yes, Hazel likes that, right? And what it is premium dehydrated quail meat. And we put some egg shells, not the entire egg, but the egg shells in there. And that makes them extra crunchy. That's why we call them Quail Crunch Bites. So it's a premium quality made in the US, very important. So it comes straight from us, from the quail farms. We process it and into the warehouse you can order it from. You can subscribe as well. And as Hazel can tell you, right, Hazel? It's awesome. Sit. Good girl. You want to have one more? Sorry that I sit here, by the way, in my pajamas, but it's late here. Was a busy day in the office for me, by the way. And Hazel was a good girl, right? Yeah. Hazel, turn around. Turn around. Oh, yeah, I'm not pointing correctly, I know. Turn around. Sit. Paw. Paw. Now. Yeah, with training, as you can tell, I am not a professional dog trainer, but I'm in touch with some of them. And if one is watching today, your dog will come up in a second. I'm so excited about that. But anyway, to come back to the product, it's no fillers, no artificial stuff other than the packaging to keep them fresh for your pets. If you find some crumbles in there because it gets a bit smashed in shipping, don't throw them out, right, Hazel? That's a food topper. Yeah. So if there's little crumbles in there, sprinkle them on top of the food for your doggy. And as you could tell with our chief treat tester, Hazel, they are really popular. So get them now while supplies last. Now, Hazel is gone, and that's okay. Because, well, actually not. Hazel, you want to show the crunch sticks? Let's show the crunch sticks. Let's continue with the crunchy stuff, right? So, yeah. We also make from quail the Quail Crunch Sticks. And let's take a look how they look like. So, before we go into the actual quail section of this stream today. So, the quail have a spine like we do. Theirs is a bit more robust than politician spines. Anyway, they are nice and crunchy. And the good thing is the bones of quail, they don't splitter like chicken bones would do, so it's safe. And in case of Hazel, the vet keeps telling me that it actually, her teeth are well, so she gets one of them every day. And that must do something to her teeth, I guess. Hazel, can you come here? Baby. Employees nowadays. I mean, she gets a treat. And yet, she went off to the other room, checking on mommy, I guess. Hazel, are you coming? I'm not gonna eat that myself. Come here, poo-poo. Well, yeah, as I said earlier on, I'm not a professional dog trainer, but with some convincing, may you please honor us with your presence here. Hazel, come here. Here, Hazel. On your position, like we always train. Come here. Look what I have. You're not in the mood for that today? Are you sure? Come here. Ah, she is in the mood for it. So, that's live TV. Hazel, come, want a treat? Want a treat? Ah, now she's monitoring me. Maybe Hazel ate too much already. That's the first time it ever happened on a live stream. You can look back on all previous one. Hazel is refusing to eat. I can't believe it. Is she sick? Nah. Let's have a quick look if the magic here. Hazel, wanna have that? If that helps. Come here. Here, Hazel. Wanna have some of that? Yummy. Hazel, come here. Come here, baby. I don't know what's wrong with her. I think I need to change a battery here with a fire alarm because that keeps beeping. I don't know if you heard that. Sorry for that. So maybe that's throwing her off. That's throwing me a little off. There it was again. Well, definitely gonna have to fix that. And I guess that comes from dog training because in one of my previous live streams, I have shown one of those dog collars which beep and that tells Hazel to calm down and don't move. So let me check on Hazel and take her collar off that she doesn't think there's something wrong with her. Hazel, come here, Popo. You're a good girl, you are. Now, let's take this off. Yeah. So, yeah. That's it. That was the culprit. So, we have this invisible fence and the fire alarm beeps similar to this. And so Hazel was like, uh-oh. Before I get shocked or vibrated or things like that, I'd rather stay calm. But now, Hazel, since you are free, come here, Hazel. Hazel, come here. You want a treat? Come here, it's okay. Yeah, that fire alarm is definitely throwing her off. Yeah, there is my boo-boo. Yeah. Oh, I really have to change that. You see, that's the little things. Now, let's move over. Here's my little baby. And she's afraid under the table. Right there you go. Are you afraid? Aww. Let me take the battery out of that fire alarm. You stay here. Okay, you tell the people some stuff. And I find that little thingy. And here we go. Yep, it's those little things. So, anyway, we learned something new today. By the way, I used to be a volunteer firefighter, so since I have this fire alarm here in my hand, little reminder, on the quail farm, you know, with brooders and all that good stuff, and heat lamps maybe, rather use heat plates, by the way. Fire safety is important. Now, what I do here right now is obviously take out the empty battery of that fire alarm, and before I go to sleep tonight, I mean pretty much when we are done with this live stream, I'm gonna put a new battery in, put it back at its place, and make sure everything is safe here in my house, on the farm, and so on. So a little reminder for you guys as well. That thing still keeps beeping even though the battery is out. So let me press. Yeah, I pressed the button. Now it's completely empty. Look, Hazel, it was this. Yeah. So I know now that you don't have to be afraid anymore. So let's have a look at Hazel Cam and give you a treat since you have been so nice. Hazel, sit. Sit, Poopo. Wanna have treat? No? She's too scared now. Okay. Well, then we keep the pet section a little shorter today. Hazel is a bit thrown off, and I keep petting you and reassuring you that everything is fine. And what we just have learned is, yeah, a little fire alarm like that can save your life, but also really confuse your pet if you use invisible fence or collars like that. So, lesson learned. Next time I'm gonna check for beeping sounds around here, Hazel, okay? And you stay with me, and I tell the people about the crunch sticks, which I just shown. So that was the spine, right? And what I tried to entice her with is this lovely stuff. That's actually freeze-dried quail eggs. There's an entire carton, a dozen of eggs. Let me grab that here. That entire carton goes into the production of one of these shakers. And Hazel can lay down, yeah. And it gives your dog, your cat as well, or ferret, for example, a great food topper. So you put that on top of your normal pet's food, and that entices them to eat and gives them extra vitamins and minerals. All that good stuff you normally find in quail eggs is in here as well. So it's freeze-dried. We make that again here in the US. That helps our small family farms to preserve the goodness of the lovely eggs we have all summer long, of course, as well, where it's too hot to ship them out as hatching eggs or fresh eggs. This way we preserve them, and you can get them. It lasts about a month. I used it in the summer when we went camping. It's great, you know, on the go for Hazel as a little food topper there as well. And yeah, she's happy with that. I'm happy, and I'm sure your pet will be happy with that as well. Now, after this confusing start, let's dive into the more exciting part. I'm gonna show you guys some pictures because I'm always happy to see our products being used by customers. And let me show which product I'm talking about. Do I have that here? Yeah. So it's our quail wings, and they come in different options, right? This is the wing on the string, which is more targeted at cats, but also can be used for bird dog training, for hunting dog training, to train the dog the natural scent of a game bird. Quail is a game bird. But in the case of a cat, and you can click on the product and you see some cat videos there. In the case for a cat, it's a great natural toy. Comes on a natural string here, so there's no plastic and stuff. Right, Hazel? Yeah, you're too old to play with that now. I know you're a big girl now. But that's how it looks like. It comes on a string. You can tie the other end on a stick, and then you can make real bird play with your cat. Since I'm lacking of a cat right here, you need to click on the product. There's 2 videos there. One my daughter made with her cat, and then there's another one from a customer, I believe, or from a friend. And yeah, check it out. It's awesome. But again, these wings, we have them also in a pack of 1 pair or 2 pairs. If the worst case scenario happens and your puppy gets too excited playing with it and eats it, that happened to Hazel a couple of times. It's just feathers and a few little tiny quail bones. So the next day she pooped some feathers, but otherwise it's safe. But it's not intended as food, since we have plenty of other food options for your pets in our store. But this is intended as a training tool or as a cat playing toy. But let me show you now. I got a message early on today from a lovely customer who bought some wings from us. So let me bring that up here. Shooby-dooby-doo. I love to show pictures of our customers' pets. Here we are. Here I am. But more important, so here was the message. So thanks to Jim for contacting me as well. So, and the photo credit goes to Shelly. And that lovely little bugger here. Sorry, let me look up the name again. So that puppy, Ruby Sue. Do I pronounce that right? I hope so, Jim. Ruby Sue. Let's take a look at Ruby Sue. There it says Ruby on the collar as well. Isn't that cute? So I got those pictures sent this morning, and I got the permission to show them, of course. That's the first thing I'm asking. Hey, am I allowed to show that on the live stream and stuff? So yes, Jim told me, show my little darling there. So that's a German short hair, right? GSP. Yeah, little puppy there from a great breeder. And you see our product there. Let me bring it up a little bit here. The wing on this string, in this case, I guess he removed, maybe it was a one pair one, because there's no string on it. But obviously Ruby here is already enticed, and her hunting skills come out. Ah, that beautiful pictures. So that photographer, and I studied photography when I was younger, did an awesome job here, taking those pictures of Ruby. Beautiful dog. Ah, there we see the wing again. And yeah, Ruby's learning how to trace and track down a game bird in this case, right? Here we go. There is the wing again, and there's beautiful Ruby. Ah, and here is the other part of the news section today. It all starts here at our quail farm with an egg. If you ever wondered what came first, the egg or the chicken, well, the simple answer is what came first is the quail. About 4,000 years ago, we discovered that we can domesticate those little birds, which look like that, and you're going to see some real pictures in a second. We can domesticate quail, right? And so, because their eggs are delicious, their meat is delicious, and they're easy to keep. They can fly off, but so you have to keep them confined in an aviary, or in cages, or on a quail tractor on your lawn. Many different options how to keep them. But most important, keep them safe, keep them that they're happy, right? And so happy birds are really important for us as well, to make those customers like Ruby here happy too, with great dog training tools and treats and all that good stuff. And so here, happy birds, as we see here, we had a little hatch going on this week. So this the black and white edition. When I say white, you might think like, is he colorblind? I don't see any white chicks in there. They are yellow. That's right. White birds, they hatch yellow. They turn white later on. So don't be fooled by getting yellow chicks. They will turn white in this case if they are English white birds. And yeah, so we have a few different variations. What I hatched here again on my farm, and getting ready for the main season starting in January. But even now we are keeping really busy. And here is kind of an action shot of button quail hatching. There we see the button quail. So just a few in there. And so what else happened this week? We had Halloween, and Hazel was very busy handing out treats to the neighbor kids, candy in that case. And here she is in the front yard, really excited. And shout out to the neighbors. You guys had the really awesome costumes. I loved it. So yeah, Hazel was busy with that. And I was busy in the office. And now let me show you why I was so busy this week, by going over to our Amazon store. And I gonna click away to pretty quick. I click away not to cause a loop. But then I want to show you some of our new products, what we or new editions we are launching this week. But yeah, our quail eggs, again, you find that all in the store. And I just gonna check on Hazel real quick. Hazel baby, there she is, still a bit afraid. You get some treats later. Yeah, it's amazing what a what a little fire alarm and the combination of dog collar can do. Yeah, I'm still not over that, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm not over it. I don't want my little baby to suffer here, my little Hazel. And who would have thought, huh? My battery getting empty, as my dog hears it, she gets upset. She doesn't want to go away anymore, which is okay. She can stay with me, but she doesn't even want to eat because she's so scared. So I mean, it's great to have an invisible fence. Otherwise, she would be all over the place because she likes to be outdoors, and I can't always watch her. But I have to definitely do better job with the maintenance. Again, I think November is also a fire safety awareness. You know, think about that. After you're done watching this, go and test your fire thingy dingy. What is it called? Fire alarm. Yeah. Anyway, so now it gets exciting. We are launching some new color variation of quail. So let's take a look. Here you see my live stream. But when you click here on the right hand side, you see all the products I showed today in the live stream. And I want to start with the Calico quail. So quail are like people in a way. They come in many shapes and colors. Maybe not religions, but anyway, quail come in many different forms and shapes, right? Like we people, and we offered that as a color mix until now. And Dixie and Joe on their quail farm did an awesome job separating the colors, looking into the breeding program, making sure we can offer them now separately, that they breed through as much as possible. I mean, with genetics, there's always a chance that something doesn't go exactly as it should be. That happens, right? But we can now confidently offer them, and from all the different quail farms in our network, right? We are able to offer you the different variations. And when I was in Texas, we took some new pictures, and finally now we are ready to launch them, and you see those lovely pictures here as well. So if you click on the product here below, you can zoom in and take a look at these beautiful birds, the different color variations. So I know I'm not the best photographer. I mean, I started photography more than 20 years ago, but this is the result, and trust me if I say it was not easy. Those birds, they tend to fly, right? So thanks and shout out to Joe as well, helping me to take those pictures, because those birds, we wanted to make sure when we take the pictures that the birds are safe, obviously, right? But yeah, and that we get a good shot, and that no bird was harmed taking these pictures. I can guarantee that because I was there. I took those pictures. So yeah, exciting news. We can now have those color variations separately here. So you don't get like you can still get the color mix if you want to when you go to our store, but now you can get them separately. I don't know if you heard me before, but you might guess I'm German, but no, I'm not. But we got some German chocolate pansy quail here. But my accent is not a German accent. I'm from Austria, so my native language is Austrian German. German is my second language, and then English my third language, and then French my fourth, and Italian my fifth. And I'm not that fluent in those languages. But anyway, so if you ever wondered why I have such a funny accent, now you know. And before I lived in the US, I lived many years in Ireland, and learning English in Ireland, I tell you, is maybe not the best choice in life, but here I am, and I can't change it anymore. But German chocolate pansies, that's what we are really here to talk about, not my past or my accent, but in case you wondered, now you know. The German chocolate pansy, they are beautiful color-wise. They are kind of, reminds me about, if you would put them in front of a pile of wood, they would blend in there. And so nature, in regards to coloring, has obviously those ideas as well in regards to the different color genetics and variations that nature and their environment where they traditionally grow up plays a little bit of a role as well. And typically in the bird world, the boys are a little prettier than the girls. For quail, this is a girl. I have to say there is pretty girls out there, right? So this chocolate German pansy there is awesome. You can get it 1 dozen or 20x. We sent them 2 dozen, but we priced it accordingly in regards to the shipping, all that good stuff. But anyway, don't want to talk about pricing here. I just want to show you these lovely, beautiful birds. Now, also new, and you will find that not yet in the store, only exclusive to people who look on top here on our live stream. You will find that here. All right, so we had now the lovely German guy here. Now, let's take a look at, so only up here in this navigation menu you find it, right? The pearl pansy. Pearl, yeah, here we go. Don't mix them up with the snowflakes or snowies or whatever they're called. There's so many names for quails. They're a little bit white as well, but it is a bit of a winter edition, I guess, from a color variation. Reminds me about the first snowfall, and you see everything gray, white on the street or in your backyard. Here you go. You could get that now into your coop as well with those hatching eggs. Um, Beautiful birds. Their temperament is very easygoing. So lovely birds as well. What we got here with the pearl pansy. Then we also launched now. Let me see if I find it here. The gingers. Here we go. The ginger quail. Sometimes we don't have as many pictures of a certain type than I wanted to because the bird was then either stressed or I was stressed before anything happens. We rather have a picture less than stressing out a bird. So that's why you see here not that many pictures. But the ginger quail, they can be easily mixed up with other types of quail because those colorings are similar. But they're beautiful birds, proficient layers, and they come in the jumbo size. Jumbo meaning the bird later is over 10 ounces at the age of 10 weeks if you feed it proper. It's not a jumbo egg as such, even though jumbo birds tend to lay bigger eggs. But let's face it, it's quail. If you want to have big eggs, get chicken, right? Or get ducks. Because I hear that a lot, or I get that a lot, and I see it online. People ask for the biggest eggs from quail. Let's face it, it's a quail, And then I had people ordering the Georgia Giant, and then complaining about that the eggs are so tiny because Georgia Giant is the biggest bird, but actually their eggs are pretty small. So if you want really really big eggs, get an ostrich or get an emu. But quail is quail. So we're talking here, is an egg 10 grams, 9 grams, or 15 grams, or 21 grams, or 22 grams. So it's not big. It's not a big difference. That's all I'm saying. So when we say jumbo, we mean the bird later in regards how heavy it is, not the eggs. We follow here the ACBA, the American Coturnix Breeder Association. There you go. We follow that standard here. And that standard says right now the bird should be 10 ounces at the age of 10 weeks. And then it's considered a jumbo. So that's what we do. Other great birds, we had them before. I just want to show them again because they are beautiful. And we took new pictures. The red range. Beautiful bird. And you saw before we used some AI pictures, I still left one in there. Yeah, I think it shows it nicely, the features of the bird, but taking the wheel is real, right? And that bird was a bit fluffed up, yes, I have to admit, but wheel is real, and obviously every bird has their different character, different look and feel. This girl, I think, has beautiful eyes, but anyway, so this again gives you the hatching eggs, and I see we are already out of the 24. Well, we have to check that. Anyway, this is a ongoing thing, right? The availability depends on how many orders come in, how many we ship out, how many eggs have been laid. If you don't see it available, just add it to a list or something like that, and then you get a notification in your Amazon app, and then you'll see when they are available again. So it happens, right? If some birds get spooked, it could happen that they get spooked and then the availability drops completely, that they don't lay any eggs because they got spooked by a predator, right? For example, even though we try to protect them from the predators, but it can happen that a little mouse or something gets into the barn and spooks them, and then the egg production drops. So we keep that always up to date for you guys, right? Another great bird variation, the autumn sparkly. So sparkly again, you see this feather pattern. Let me show you. Here we go. This feather pattern here is beautiful, vibrant colors when the bird is hatched, right? For all the Coturnix quail, they usually hatch between day 16 to day 20, 21, depending on the settings of your incubator. By the way, if kids are watching, these are fresh products, so they cannot be returned. So always ask permission of your parents before you order anything online. We had a problem with that before, and we cannot refund money if we ship them out. And we ship them out quite quickly, so just saying. This is not made for kids, this stream. And I just, in case somebody's watching, nothing against kids. I got 3 of them on my own. Yeah, just saying. don't order anything without asking mommy or daddy or your grandparents or somebody, right? Anyway, if grandparents are watching, by the way, now it's a good time to think about it. You want to teach your kids, your grandkids, how to take care of an animal and have the benefit of having fresh eggs you can eat every day, then maybe quail, you should think about that. If you're about to retire or if you're currently in between jobs and you think you look for a new hobby, quail is an awesome hobby. And what I did is I made it to my job, right? So just saying, giving you some ideas. Christmas is coming up soon. I'm just saying, Christmas hatch is always cool. But here we go. The autumn sparkly, beautiful bird. This one gave us a bit of live action, right? But here we go. So, beautiful bird as well. No reviews yet because obviously we just launched it. You can click here and that leads you back to our store, by the way. And I'm working right now. Here you see all the good stuff. Sometimes it leads to that result. Here we go. It says visit the Undique store. And then you're back here and then you see here the hatching quail eggs. Some of our farmers here as well. And here you see all the eggs and the new additions. I put them in there as we speak. So if you don't see them there yet, then check back on the homepage, right? And you see them here next to the live stream. So just saying. So awesome bird variations. I think I showed all the new ones we have for now. Now let's go and take some look at the buttons. Button quail, really popular. And I just had some hatching. So let me show you those guys again because I just love them. So they are really, really small birds, right? Their eggs are really small. And therefore, if you use an incubator which has not, the possibility to lay down the egg in there, right? Let me get rid of this picture. Then you need something like incubators like the CT60, 120, 180. They from the manufacturer Chimuka, or in the US they are known as Hatching Time, and they are typically green. Let me show you on Hazel cam. Hazel baby, how you doing down there? I show that on your cam. So they are green here. Yeah, you want to show that to the people? No? Okay. Then keep snoring away. So it's typically green, but I sit in front of a green screen, so it turns blue. But they normally come just with the goose rail here, that white goose rail. So you need an insert for those things. And that's why I designed those button quail holders. So they're 3D printed here in the US. I make them, right? The design was not so easy to make, but it's, in the end of the day, just a couple of minus and plus things in the design software, so it's not that difficult. And they fit perfectly here. And they are now available, and you can either just buy one if you only hatch a couple, or multiple if you need to rack up your entire incubator there. But they hold button quail eggs, also the standard quail eggs. For the bigger jumbo quail eggs, we have separate ones. We are just launching them right now. So check back on that in a week. I'm probably able to announce that we're ready to ship them out as well. But those are the button quail egg rails, and I just wanted to show you them because we just had those lovely button babies here hatching, right? And I use those rails as well for those birds to hatch. Speaking of birds or buttons, so we, together with our friend Jennifer from Brian's Roost, we bring to you, if you're in the quail business, something which comes like that and folds into that, and you can also take a peek if you like to. Yeah, you got it. This is a button quail egg shipper. So we have them in a pack of 5. So it comes with the 5 foam inserts for the eggs. Then those little thingies here, they are the dividers for in between. Fits perfectly as, I think it's a 7x7. Those, USPS boxes. And this is a good way, one of many ways, how to safely ship button quail eggs, right? Yeah. So, oops. Thanks God it's foam, I can't break it. Yeah, so that's something you find in the store as well. They're pretty popular. So if you're planning on shipping out eggs yourself in the springtime. Get these shippers now, because in the spring it's usually a little bit of a backlog to get those. So just saying. Last but not least, button quail need button food or a feeder for button quail. So we made that too. That's how it looks like. Comes in a pack of 2. It's very different from the traditional feeders you see. Let me check if I have a picture of a traditional one. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about other feeders, but let's face it. Look at this design. I designed it myself, and it's beautiful, isn't it? So this one is designed. You can use it also for standard quail too, but for button quail, you would put that into the brooder, right? Whoop. You lean 2 of them against each other. Here, I actually mounted them into a grow-out cage, which I use for my buttons, as well as grow-outs, right? So the Chimuka cage here, right? And they go right into the front there, mounted with a zip tie. You could also drill through it if you have different cages and you want to mount it somehow differently in the back. You could just drill through it. You could fire safety, of course, but just saying, if you have one of those things laying around, let me show you. And if you do it in a well-ventilated room, you could, you know what that is. Do you know it? Yeah, it's a soldering iron, right? Make sure well ventilated, because if you burn that off, some fumes come off. But you could make holes into it in case you burn that in, basically. Just, you know, don't burn yourself, obviously, otherwise you get a... Greetings to my old school colleague when I was 10 years old. He burned me with one of those here. I still see it. I know it's hard to tell, but anyway. Just be careful when you do that, but all I'm saying is you could go ahead and find that here in our store, right? We have that here in our Quail Keeper supply section. Here are the different feeders, and yeah, go ahead. You can order them and use them, and you have less food waste. The food doesn't get dirty by your quail running into that, you know, these old feeders. They run into it and then poop into it and all that. And those big trays are awesome for the layer cages in the Chimuka cage system, but not that great for grow out when the birds are still small. So that's why we designed them. So yeah, lots of stuff. And last but not least, if Hazel allows me here. Hazel, darling. Yeah, I know. You were so scared. I have one more thing I have to grab here. Yeah, you guessed it right. It's something big. It's something heavy. I'm back in a second. Here we go. And I switch over to my Hazel cam. Yeah, Hazel. So this is a shipping box. You get them in a pack of 10. It's not just for shipping. It's also if you have to transport your quail from one barn to the other. If you have customers picking up live quail, a lot of different usage scenarios. Hazel, your butt here is really, really handy to show this. Thank you that I can work on you. So, it has this membrane in there that the birds keep stuff, their little feet or wings or little peaks inside the box, but still ventilation is going on outside, right? Folds nicely up in 2 ways, either this way, and the instructions how to fold the box is on the box. So typically they are shipped like that, unless you have babies, then you want to fully close it up and then tape over here, and they are good to go. You know, it looks just more professional as well if you run a quail farm and you have people to pick up quail. If you give it to them in a professional looking box rather than an old Amazon shipping box, right? That's what most people do, I guess. I'm guilty too, but this looks more professional. Okay, the box costs some money. You just price that in, or you can tell them, hey, if you bring the box back, you get the money back. Yeah, the box, you can put a little puppy pad in there. Then the surface is not too slippery and soaks up any moisture, and you're good to go. So that's a great portfolio what we got in regards to products. It's not everything, what we got, but you have the link to our store down below so you can check it out. We did a lot of talking, and I still feel so sad about that. What happened early on? I can't get over it. That beeping empty battery fire alarm, in combination Hazel wearing her collar, freaked her out so bad. And now she's just laying there being afraid. Now that takes now another hour or two of cuddling, I would say, after this live stream. And she gets maybe a treat off camera. Maybe she's a little shy. I don't know. Or I try the pet cotton candy real quick. Let's see if Hazel comes around before we say goodbye. Let's try that. Hazel, look what I have here. Yeah. You like that? Come, boo boo. Hazel, yeah. Yeah, for you. Look. Everything is okay now. Everything is okay. Hazel, up. Turn around. Yeah. Come, turn around. Oh, I made your popo dirty. Come here. Come here, poo poo. Yeah, come here. Yeah. But let's say bye-bye to the people. There, a little snack. Aww. Yeah. You're such a good girl. Hmm? Yeah. And the crunch stick. Come on, we can do it. I know you want it. I want it. You want a crunch stick? Huh, Hazel? Yeah, you deserve one. Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah, who is a good girl? Come here. Yeah. And sit. And you get half first. Now, guys, listen to that crunch. Mmm. Now, let me highlight this product again. Huh? Hazel, down, down. And here you go. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. That's how it should look like. Okay, baby. Yeah. Now you can go to mommy. Say bye-bye. Go to mommy. Yeah. Straight through here. Good girl. Okay, guys. Now I'm happy when Hazel is happy. I hope you had a happy evening. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's awesome that so many people are watching. I think that's a new record. I just checked here. And, well, thank you guys for supporting my small family company and all those little small family companies attached to my company in our Undique network. So thanks for supporting us, for ordering from us, for watching our live streams, for liking our social media, for leaving and subscribing and all these lovely things. And if you have comments, if you want to reach out, if you have questions about hatching quail, raising quail, the dog treats we make, the cat toys we make, anything, you can always get hold of me. I say thank you for watching. I wish you an awesome rest of the week. I think tomorrow is election day, so if you have the right to vote in this country, go out there. And I look at it more as a duty to the country rather than just a right. So go out there, vote, have fun, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next weekend. So thanks again. See you guys.